Michael Corsillas here. Today I want to talk to you about ADD, or people who think they have ADD, or attention deficit disorder. ADD is a diagnosis where you have problems organizing, finishing tasks, just difficulty concentrating at home and at work. If that's a big concern, for sure, talk to your healthcare provider about that. The ADD I'm talking about is more something you develop later on in life. Because I have a lot of people talk to me like saying, I just can't get things done, what the heck is going on? I didn't have this problem before. So when it comes to our lifestyles, when it comes to our jobs and all the tasks and volunteer activities and just work, kind of hectic schedules most of us have, our jobs and our lifestyle demand us to multitask. The issue is our brains are not handled or programmed to multitask. A great example that's been studied a lot of times is trying to multitask and see how effective that is and how your brain can adapt to that. So an easy example that my mentor had showed me is you just count from 1 through 10 as fast as you can out loud. That'll take you like half a second, or it should. And then you do the alphabet A through J as fast as you can, and that'll probably take you about half a second as well. And then you take those two tasks and you alternate going back and forth from letters to numbers. So that's A1, B2, C3, etc., all the way to J, alternating with the numbers. You do that, it'll probably take you at least 10 seconds. And when people do that over and over, doing two tasks only, it actually gets more and more difficult. So imagine you're doing all your tasks at work, phone calls, emails, texting, talking to clients, patients, whomever. That's multiple tasks. And just doing two tasks, alphabet and numbers, people struggle at that. So that shows you just right there, our brain can't handle it. So what we need to do is to decrease your so-called ADD is trying not to multitask. You need to be an awesome single tasker like me. So you pick one project, one big task you need to do right then and there. You get all the little tasks out of the way. An easy thing that I recommend for everyone is actually email. It's a big detractor for when it comes to the quote-unquote ADD. So if you can check email twice a day only, not at the beginning of the day, because you probably do that and you end up being on email for such a long time responding to other emails. So if you can let people, give them a heads up, I only check email at noon and then maybe later on in the afternoon and evening. If you get them a heads up, you only do email that twice a day, that's going to give you a block of time to finish out that email at that time. If you find that you're constantly distracted by your cell phone, you have those little beeps or flashes of light, you really don't need that. I kind of get hooked on my cell phone. It's just always on my hand. But what I do, for example, is if I make sure I don't want to check my email or a Facebook status, etc., when you're driving, which is the worst thing to do, right? Get that phone out of sight, out of mind. So instead of having it at your desk, you put it away in your jacket. Instead of it having in the car on your commute, you put it in the back seat where you can't access it. Out of sight, out of mind. Less distractions. And the last thing is you got to learn to say no. So a lot of our jobs, again, demand us to take on more tasks, but it's okay to say no. You got to set those boundaries. Sort of like the email. I only check email at this time of the day, or I only take phone calls at this time of the day. You set boundaries, you learn to say no, and you're going to find out you're going to have less distractions and you're going to get a lot more done. So hopefully this will help with your multitasking that you're not supposed to do. All right, talk to you later.